Hey everybody, it's Digital Asset Guy. It's an absolutely beautiful day. Taking a walk in one of my favorite areas by a lake. Wanted to talk about a few things today. Of course, the market sentiment, the critical point that we're at right now in the kind of all markets, but really in crypto. Talk about the blockchain backer and all the heat that my hero is taking right now over a couple tweets that he made about what he's personally doing with his portfolio. We'll get into that, and I'm going to talk about where I think the market is going and why, basically. So first of all, the market right now, we're at a really critical kind of historical level where the crypto total market cap has barely broken out, just got over 4 trillion. So it's kind of like decision time. Are we going to actually break out and go into expansion and price discovery for the entire crypto space? That's Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Dogecoin, Trump coin, all of them. And are we going to actually take off, or are we just going to come up and just kiss the all-time high and come back down for a while? Nobody really knows, but it's really interesting how people are speculating on it. I know I have my opinions about it, but anyway, it's a very, very difficult thing. I'll be honest with you, it's kind of a stressful time for me personally. You know, I've been in this about almost a decade now. There's things that I want to do in my life, you know, and I'm ready to get paid. I mean, I could sell right now, and it would impact my life. Maybe not tremendously, but I'd be fine. I'd be safe. That would be the safe play, would be to sell right now. It's not really what I want to do, because I know where this space eventually will go. It's just, I don't know when. No one does. So I think that it's very interesting, though, all of the legislation we've had this year. Look at these boats out here. Isn't that fun? All the legislation we've had this year with the Genius Act, the Clarity Act still needs to be passed. It's a cool sounding boat. I think the Clarity Act getting passed will be a major catalyst that's actually going to provide clarity to the markets, you know, where the CFTC and the SEC can actually give us the rules, and we can classify tokens as a security or a commodity. I think that's like common sense, which we should have had by now. But I think once the Clarity Act is passed, that's going to really bring a lot more capital into the space. I mean, it has to. When you give clear rules, people feel safe, and then they want to participate. It's like anything else. I think we're right on the cusp of that happening. We've got the Genius Act, which laid down the rules of the road for stable coins. I talked about that in some of my other videos. So stable coins are going to bring trillions in. It's going to be exciting. It's just, will we see this capital come in now while we're still in this bull market, or will it maybe be in the next cycle? That's a very real possibility. So it's a really tough time right now. So, jet ski. It's fun. So, let's talk about the blockchain backer. This has had a huge effect on me personally. Everything going on with blockchain backer, with his channel and his X account. My X account is still suspended. I am still so mad about that. I was just starting to get my followers, and was really taken off right after XRP Las Vegas, and then I was suspended the day after I posted the mysterious Trump Tower doorman conversation video. I posted a link to it on X, a link to the YouTube video. And the very next day, my account was suspended, which I think is super interesting because I never had anything, not even a warning, nothing. But I've got somebody in London actually who I just talked to this weekend on the phone. Supposed to try to get it back. He has a plan, but we'll see. It's very strange. It's almost like, I don't know. It's just strange how difficult it's been for me to get that back. I know other big time, YouTubers with X accounts, they've been able to get them back eventually, but mine's just completely suspended anyway. So I'm still able to go on and my account's in read-only mode, where it's kind of cruel. I see all of my crypto family, but I can't talk with them or respond or like anything. But anyway, I've been watching what's going on with the blockchain backer. I've followed blockchain backer since video number 1, and it was just very apparent to me that he's very passionate about what he does, and he's very sincere, and he's very honest. I mean, if he wasn't honest, by now his channel basically wouldn't make any sense. He basically reads, interprets the charts, lets us know what he thinks might happen, and then he tells us what he personally does with his portfolio, whether he's buying or selling. He does not give financial or investment advice like me. We do not do that. He'll tell us what he's personally doing in real time, which I really appreciate, because I synthesize all of the chart analysts, and then I'm able to kind of formulate my own thoughts and opinions, philosophy. But blockchain backer, he has called things to a level of accuracy that is shocking to me. He's just the real deal, in my opinion, when it comes to chart analysis. And I'm just amazed at how humble he stays. If anybody could be arrogant and boastful and get away with it, in my opinion, it would be the blockchain backer. I watched that guy sell the top of Ethereum, and I kind of followed along, and I'm really glad I did. But I watched him sell the top on the actual day, like within tens of dollars of the top. And I'll just never forget, I clicked on his video that morning, and he brought up the charts, and he said, guys, Bitcoin and Ethereum, they're getting pretty high. And he was kind of laughing about it. He says, I will be taking profit. He says, I've seen this movie before, and I know what the charts say is probably going to happen. And he was right on. And he helped me to make a really good decision. I've hit the sell button, I think 3 or 4 times in my 9-year crypto career, and they've all been life-changing. And he's helped me do that on 2 of them. He's absolutely amazing. His work has enriched my life, not just financially and in terms of crypto, but also just in terms of being a good human. And I met him at XRP Las Vegas, and it was just a big deal to me. I took a little video with him, you can see on my social media, and it really didn't even do it justice, but it was just such a big moment to me. And meeting your heroes, they say not to ever meet your heroes, but boy, am I glad that I met blockchain backer. And I saw his wife there through the whole conference. She's by his side, has his back. I never heard her say one word, but I can just tell she's the kind of woman that I would like to have someday. She's just amazing. I don't even know her. I could just tell. And blockchain backer was just so humble, and just thanked me for the kind words he said, and we talked, you know, more after my little interview with him. And then he said, I'll see you tonight at the after party. So went to the after party. It was at the Hard Rock Cafe, a really great event. And these after parties at XRP Las Vegas, it's so amazing to me. They don't feel like parties. They feel like a family reunion. You know, nobody gets crazy, nobody's fighting, it's not like a party. It's just not. And I mean, people have a good time, don't get me wrong. I had a good time. Something really interesting happened at the first after party that night at the Hard Rock. So I'm there, I'm running into all these people, Molly Elmore, a lot of people I didn't even expect to see were there, and, you know, took pictures, shook hands, all that stuff, and it was great. And then I see Blockchain Backer, and it's kind of packed, you know, shoulder to shoulder in this bar area. And so I go by, and I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't planning on moving, but I saw him coming, and I decided to walk over to him just to see if I could chat with him, you know, like oh, Blockchain Backer's one of my actual friends now, you know. And go over, he couldn't have been nicer. I said, you know, thank you for letting me take that little video today. You just don't know what it means to me, and I just appreciate it. He says, oh, great. And for some reason I could tell that he just didn't seem like he was comfortable at this party. Not that anything bad was going on, but everybody knows Blockchain Backer, he has on his X account sober for 10 years, I think. I guess he had some struggles with alcoholism. And I don't know, but it just kind of seemed like to me, maybe he wasn't comfortable at being at this after party because there was alcohol. And again, it was not a wild party by any means. Really was not. But he just kind of didn't seem comfortable, you know, and people are having a good time. And so this party, it went till the wee hours of the morning, but it had to be before 10 o'clock maybe. I see him looking like he's about ready to leave, him and his wife. And nobody was leaving. It was like just getting started. And I thought this was kind of interesting, and I'm kind of, you know, watching, and for whatever reason, it looked like he's really leaving. For whatever reason, I got my phone out and I took a little video of him and his wife going down these steps. Now, they didn't know I took it. Maybe I shouldn't have taken it, but I just wanted to capture the moment of my hero leaving the party early, you know. And people were even kind of looking at him like Blockchain Backer, where are you going? Why are you leaving the party at before 10 o'clock, you know? And he was just kind of himself and nice about it. And but anyway, I saw him leaving, and then I decided to take this little video. And in the video, you can see they're going down the steps, and all of a sudden his wife, she puts her hand like in the middle of his back and starts rubbing his back, kind of like saying, you know, it's all right, honey, or something. And it just very apparent to me that something was like a little bit wrong. I think it might have been just being around the drinking, maybe, is what it was. But if I'm being honest, for some reason, just watching one of my life's greatest heroes leave the party early when it wasn't the popular thing to do, and seeing his wife supporting him in that decision and having his back, literally patting him on the back, saying it's all right, it made him 1,000 times cooler to me. It really did. And I just remember thinking, someday when I grow up, that's how I want to be. I want to be like the Blockchain Backer, where I know who I am and I'm confident enough in myself that I don't need to worry about what anybody else is doing. And it would be great to have a really great woman by my side who's got my back. I don't know how I'm gonna find that. It's complicated, but it's just a really powerful little moment to me in that video. Maybe no one will ever see it, but It's a very important video to me. And if you can't tell, I'm a huge fan of the blockchain backer. People are really coming down on him hard, and they're calling him a fraud because he sold a third of his portfolio about a week ago, and then just 2 nights ago he announced that he posted saying that he is now half in cash. And people they're attacking him over this and calling him a fraud, saying he lied to us and all this. And I think that it's really not right, the way that people are treating him on X. And I just think it's ridiculous. He's told us from the beginning he will never give financial or investment advice. You know, he'll never tell us when to buy or sell. He'll tell us what he is personally doing, and that's it. And then he gives us the chart analysis. And I just think it's really ridiculous the way, if you go onto his X account, you can see how much people are putting effort into attacking him right now. And I just think it shows how insecure they are, you know, and when you invoke fear in people, that's when people can show you who they really are at times. And there's a lot of people being very nasty, other influencers, other chart analysts, and calling them names and things, and it just isn't right. And I think it's very foolish of them, because if you think about it, everyone's financial or investment situation is completely unique to them. Blockchain backer, he was in stocks, you know, before this. He owned companies he's shared with us. He might have put $1 million in XRP under 30 cents. And then when it went up to $3, you know, that was a 10x. So he's got 10 million. Maybe he took 3 million out. That's 3 times his original investment, you know, and then now he's half in cash. Maybe he took another 2 out. He's got 5 million now off of 1 million, and he's got another 5 million riding. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a great place to be. It's brilliant. So I think people need to just enough is enough. You do you, and if you don't like what blockchain backers saying or doing, watch another YouTube channel and grow up. Seriously. I know I've got my own, you know, situation that I just give up on trying to explain to people because they would never understand. And I really feel for blockchain backer right now. I do. Because he's a tough guy and he knows he knows the game he's playing. But he did make a post in response to all the attacks. And it was pretty apparent that he was pretty upset about it, and I didn't like seeing that. But then again, I've went through it myself. I've had people I thought were my friends who I've known for years and years, you know, say the most terrible, hurtful things, insulting things. Insulting things, they make me the maddest. I don't like to be insulted. I'm a fighter, you know, somebody wants to challenge me or something, it's game on. But when somebody who doesn't even know what they're talking about walks up to me and says, yeah, I saw your Bitcoin stuff or whatever on your social media, and that's a scam, dude, and stuff, that's the stuff that I just get so insulted that I have a hard time being around them. But it's part of the game. But anyway, all right, let's talk about the market sentiment a little bit. I'll just give my 2 cents. I personally believe the future's bright for crypto. I don't know what's going to happen in the near future. I don't know if this market cycle is done or we're just getting started with the actual bull run into, you know, Bitcoin's last push and then maybe an alt season. But I do know that this time it is a little bit different with the legislation that we've had passed. That they're game-changing, you know, pieces of legislation. I just know, you know, when I see people who or maybe they're not even smarter than me. They just are in a different position. They're around people who know things. Like going to XRP Vegas, I talked to people who told me exactly what was going to happen, and they were right. And I don't care if people believe me or not. You can figure out some of this stuff that I've hinted at in my social media posts, but I know what I heard and what came true, and I know what else they told me was coming down the pipeline in Q4 that we haven't seen yet. And I just know that people who work for certain companies in crypto, or certain companies that are starting to use crypto, they know who's going to buy what and when. And maybe other people aren't as confident because they don't know. I know that when I watch Tom Lee on Squawk Box or Fox Business or Bloomberg, wherever he's at, and he's predicting $16,000 Ethereum and $250,000 Bitcoin, I think he said by the end of 2025. I don't personally see that happening. I don't know. I don't expect that, but I'm not Tom Lee with Fundstrat. You know, I'm not Charles Hoskinson, the founder and CEO of Cardano, calling also, interestingly, $250,000 Bitcoin, the same exact number to the penny. When I see these heavy hitter guys calling these numbers so aggressively, leads me to believe that they might know things that I don't, you know. So it's gonna be really, really interesting. Hey, that's a cool car. Very nice. Little girl with a pink Cadillac electric little car. So anyway, I say all that to say, I know what I think is going to happen in the market, and that's how it's been for every single market cycle. I don't know what's going to happen. When they have me on the news and ask what I think, I tell them it's just what I think. I've been on the news twice now. Nobody really knows, but the people who work in these companies interacting with crypto and things, they know things, you know. And I'll just be honest, one person at XRP Las Vegas, I was kind of challenging him a little bit, which was probably silly of me, but I said, you know, blockchain backer, the chart analyst, they're usually pretty close, and none of those guys are calling for, you know, $250,000 Bitcoin and these crazy prices. And he said, you know, I respect the chart analysts, and they do know what's happened, and they know how to compare it to the past, but there are some things coming down the pipeline. They kept using that term. He said there are things coming down the pipeline that are going to change the game, and they're going to raise the price, and they're going to bring trillions into this market. I don't care what the chart analysts say, because it's going to be a completely different ball game. He said they're analyzing the market and comparing it to the past cycles, which have been basically 100% speculation, because we haven't had the legislation and the ability to use the crypto commercially. Now we do, so it's going to be different. And it's different when you're face to face with somebody who's a heavy hitter and they're telling you this stuff. It's pretty different, pretty quick. So that's about all I have for you today. I appreciate you watching the channel. You know, again, this is kind of like therapy for me. I like to go on walks on nice days, but this is a very, very lonely road. This whole being a cryptocurrency investor, and it has a way of kind of sucking you in and you can't get out. Not a lot of people understand. Still 90% of the people on this planet don't own any crypto, don't plan to. It's not easy. So sometimes I just have to come out here and walk around and get my thoughts out, and hope that somebody's in there watching this, and maybe I'm able to help, maybe I'm not. Please comment down below if you have any questions or comments. It's all welcome. And I hope to see you in the next video. Digital Asset Guy out.